Do not pity the dead, Harry. Pity
the casuals.
So today, we're going to speedrun Hogwarts Legacy Day 1. The run starts out with a 2.5-minute unskippable cutscene where the general story is set up. We are training with Professor Fig in order to catch up on wizarding school, since we're coming in as a 5th year. But Fig is also interested in researching ancient magic, and it turns out we're the chosen one.
But I am the chosen one.
No work or training needed, we just have special powers related to ancient magic. First up with our powers, we open a lockbox that has a port key in it. Touching it teleports us to this strange area. Fig sees a structure in the distance, so we're gonna try to get to it. And now we get control of our character. Rolling is the fastest possible movement here, so we roll along with Professor Fig, and then we get to the first speedrun strat. Here, if we let Fig go in front, we can get between him and the wall to save a couple second animation. I mean, that's pretty cool. RPGs sometimes have the craziest skips like this one. We then continue along the path until we reach a blockade. Here we learn basic casting, which just functions as the main damage dealing ability for the game. We get through that and then make our way to the ruins. Fig repairs the bridge and we can make our way across. We then get to a lore heavy section where we can inspect all the statues and learn about ancient magic, but we're speedrunning, so we'll just ignore it all and walk to the next main section. Here we go to a mirror, or portal or something, and by touching it, we're in Gringotts. Turns out that port key was also a regular key to a special vault at Gringotts. It's super mysterious, so we go into the vault and the goblin explains that we can't get out, meaning we'll have to solve the vault challenges in order to survive. Fig teaches us Revelio. Since life or death situations are still a good opportunity to learn, this spell reveals a door that then transports us to a large area. Here we can roll to speed up Fig and make our way to the first challenge, which is indicated by a glowing pool in the ground. After Fig decides to teach us how to make our wand a flashlight, we start the first fight. Here we get to see Fig absolutely destroy the statues. And what's really cool about this cutscene is that all the spells he uses we will eventually learn throughout the course of the game. But then we fight. The main speedrun strategy here is to avoid targeting the same statue as Fig, which is pretty difficult since it seems like the AI is trying to get Fig to attack the same statue as us. Since Fig one-shots the statues, we need to take out the others. We manage to take them out, which doesn't take too much time, and now we get separated from Fig. From here, we need to go to the next challenge, which will require us to fight more statues, but this time on our own. The main speedrun strat is that when we block an attack, we get a counterattack. Doing this will slightly speed up kills, but honestly, the most important thing here is to just not waste any attacks. It can be easy to finish a kill and then not have a target. We just need to make sure we're always targeting something. After that, we run until we reach the end of the vault. This gives us 3 cutscenes that sets up the big bad guy for the game, explains a bit more about ancient magic and the people who made the vault, but we don't really care since we're speedrunning. It's time to go to the sorting ceremony.
We have a sorting ceremony to get to.
Now we have a big decision. Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, or Slytherin. And this decision, casually, is super difficult. And that's because there are simply no good options. Gryffindor is cringe because every main character good guy was Gryffindor, so if you pick that, you need to find your own identity. Ravenclaw is cringe because you're self-identifying as an intellectual and view yourself as like superior intelligence. Hufflepuff is cringe because everyone knows it's the worst, so people only pick it to feel like they're unique and special. Slytherin is cringe because people pick it to be edgy and the bad guy, or whatever it is not cool. Alright, so we got the 4 main houses: boring, egotistical, insecure, edgy. So what house are you? Let me know in the comments below. But for the speedrun, we need to choose Hufflepuff. The common room location leads to the fastest route, plus it increases our ability to find things.
Hufflepuffs are particularly good finders.
And honestly, despite Hufflepuff's being the worst house, it has the coolest common room. It's incredibly well designed with a theme around plants. I think it's amazing. We need to make a few friends and then we meet up with Professor Weasley. Here, there's another speedrun strat. Right after the dialogue ends, we have a small window of time to dodge roll. By doing this immediately, we won't be forced to walk and can make it to the next section much quicker. We collect the scroll and now we need to learn how to fast travel. We fast travel to the central location and then we need to make our way to our first class, Defense Against the Dark Arts. When we run into a door, our speed will slow down a bit, but by rolling right before that, we can save some time. This game has a lot of hype behind it, and well deserved. I can't think of another game that had so much detail everywhere you go. Even just walking around the corridors is super cool. But we make it to class, and now we need to duel the best duelist in the school. Since we're the chosen one, it's super easy, and we even throw a few low blows in there. We super easily beat him, and then we can head on over to the next class. For this class, we learn Accio, which will pull some things towards us. After we learn the spell, we are then introduced to a minigame. This minigame works like curling, where we basically need to pull in the balls as close to the edge as possible without it going over to get the most points. The fastest strat here is to pull them all the way through, since when they fall off, they immediately stop rolling, which is the fastest. We need to play 3 full games, which is kind of crazy long, But we get through them, and now we are headed to the biggest skip of this run. Next up, there's a quest that can be completely skipped. Basically, right after we start the quest, we can fast travel. This skips the quest and brings us right to the next one. For this one, we need to catch 2 flying books. We turn around and grab the first, then roll through the door, grab the second super quick, and then roll through the door again. This part feels pretty good to speedrun. After that, we need to meet up with Natsai, make our way to Hogsmeade, which is a little town next to the school. Here we get to take in the beautiful scenery of Hogwarts Legacy and go a little bit off track. Basically, you can jump over this wall and roll through the water. This keeps us in range of Natty, so she keeps moving, but makes the route a bit shorter. Then we jump over this wall and walk over to join Natty, who's going to explain something. But honestly, this is just a good time to show off how fast we are. Once she's done admiring our speed, we cut a bit more of the path off, and then we get to my favorite part of this section. We get to a winding path, but here we can just run up the hill rather than taking the long path. This causes Natty to just book it towards us. I love when games have this kind of crazy fast running animation. It's marvelous. But once she catches up, we can roll the rest of the way to Hogsmeade, and now we need to gather some supplies. We get a wand, some potions, and some potion ingredients. Then we have a crazy skip where we jump over the river. Look at these hops. It's actually pretty hard, but we make it, and then we need to climb up these rocks until we reach the most efficient path. Here, we run to Natty and start a cutscene. The bad guy from earlier in the vault saw us just chilling outside the protection of Hogwarts, so he releases a troll to attack us. Sure, there are probably adults around who could help, but for whatever reason, we're just gonna fight alongside Natty to beat the troll, which she does seem pretty durable. The main strat here is to keep basic attacking until he reaches about half HP. At that point, we can use our Chosen One magic to throw barrels at the troll. Here, we really want to make him falter.
Look, he's faltering. I like it. Do more.
Finally, use even more Chosen One magic to just disintegrate the troll, ending the run with a time of 36 minutes and 20 seconds, which is an incredibly good run. Leaderboards and categories are still being decided, but this is certainly in the top couple runs. Now, M-Sushi is the best Portal 2 speedrunner of all time, which is saying something because Portal 2 is incredibly competitive. The #1 speedrun is currently 26 minutes for co-op, but we wanted to see how fast he could carry me, a complete noob, through the speedrun with only a single attempt. Click here to check it out. It actually ended up being pretty funny.
I've a bit of a thing for plants, as you can see. Pleased to meet you. I'm Samantha.
An affinity for herbology is more typical of a Hufflepuff than a Ravenclaw, isn't it?
Fire video from Zero Mist.